Hello, Nasdaq followers. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Emily Drew, your host, and we're here for another episode of Nasdaq Spotlight. Today, we're joined by guest Stephen Milbank, co-founder and head of finance at Button. Thank you so much, Stephen, for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So, for everyone who might not be familiar with Button, give us an overview.
Okay. So you probably have interacted with Button, and you probably never knew it. If you think about how you can book an Uber through Google Maps, or you can buy some new item in Instagram, that's essentially what we do, but we do it across the internet for the biggest brands in commerce. And so we are the back-end piping that takes a user from one experience to the next and allows you to purchase something as seamlessly as possible.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Big week for you guys.
Yeah.
You've got the TAP Summit this week here in New York. Tell us about the TAP Summit overall.
Yeah, so I think what we try and do, this is our fifth annual one, and we try and bring in sort of the best names in mobile, in commerce or e-commerce, and bring everybody into a room and sort of talk about what the trends are and try and facilitate partnerships that exist on our marketplace. And so who we're particularly excited about this year, Jenny Fleiss at Jet Black is going to be one of the keynotes, talking about what she's doing at Jet Black, which is her latest venture, which I think is really trying to transform sort of how do you get what you want at the touch of a button. And then we're also having Joy Robbins, who's the CRO of Washington Post, who I think is particularly exciting, talking about how do you transform media companies and really sort of maybe content heavy publishers to be able to monetize and exist in a changing environment. And so, I mean, that's one place where Button really tries to thrive, which is we see this sort of traditional advertising model as not being successful. It's a broken world where acquiring customers really only comes through Google and Facebook, and you see the decline of local journalism. And what we're trying to do is transform traditional advertising to actions. And so that when you see something that you want, you can tap on a button and it takes you into that commerce experience where you can buy it. And sort of the user gets what they want quickly and easily, but also there's a mechanism for the publishers to get paid for driving that transaction. And so what we call that is, I guess, commerce-driven, contextual commerce is really what we were, conversational commerce. And we're trying to drive that, and I think that's really what's exciting and what the future is of commerce.
Absolutely. So, you mentioned some of the guests. I read a list of other folks who are speaking on Thursday. It's a really great group. You've got people from all sorts of industries. Yeah. So, what is helpful about having everybody in the same room and kind of moving everyone forward together? Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a it's evolving so quickly. We have mobile commerce sort of sales are going to double from like 1.8 trillion to 3.2 over the next 3 years. And what's happening is this world is evolving, and people all are at the frontiers of what they're doing. And by coming into a room and talking about it, and particularly with Button as that layer that connects them all and facilitates it, those different viewpoints are able to coalesce and hopefully drive forward a vision of how this is going to work, and ultimately give customers and consumers what they want more easily and in a better format. So this is year 5 of the summit, and you've been a part of organizing it since the very beginning, right? How has it kind of changed over the years, and could you have imagined that you'd be where you are this year 5 years ago?
I mean, it was only a dream that we would end up being here 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago, it was we were a 15-person company. We had a big dream of we were a really, really small company with an idea of what we wanted to be, and we're sort of calling on every single network we possibly, person in our networks that we possibly can, to ask for favors, to be speakers, to be on panels. And it was everyone from the CEO down to our intern, sort of making those calls. I was trying to shake down every law firm in New York to be a sponsor to help fund it. We were trying to ask all of our friends to buy tickets to show up and fill the space. Now we have the luxury of having people dedicated to doing that sort of the task to find the speakers, and I can go about my regular job without worrying about whether it's going to get done, because I have excellent people who are experts to put together a conference and bring in speakers and make things happen. And so that's exciting. And then we also I think one of the biggest things when you put on a conference, you're worried, are people going to show up? It's like this big party, and then you're going to have the speakers on the panel, but is there going to be an audience?
Yeah.
And like that rush of like seeing an audience that first year was amazing, and so I think that still persists. But this year it was more of a invite-only event. Which you still hope that the invites do show up and participate, but I know that they will. So
you've come a long way.
It's coming a long way, and so that's what's really exciting. And then getting to be in a place like here and sort of celebrate what we've done and how we've grown as a company is really valuable as well.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're going to be on stage at TAP.
I'm not.
You're not going to be on stage, but Button's going to be sharing some insights.
Yeah.
What are you going to be talking about?
I think one of the main focuses that we have is that the mobile phone is your remote control for life at this point, and there are all of these apps that work together, and where Button sits is sort of this intersection of both data and commerce. And there hasn't been much changed about how a brand interacts with you today. If you shopped there, you're still going to get a 5% cash back or 5% off. What we want to introduce is sort of more personalization to that user. Find what is the right price or the right offer to get you to try that new product, to re-engage with that. And so we're building technology to be able to introduce that personalization or dynamism into mobile commerce that's able to take sort of the information about who you are and translate that so that brands are acquiring the customers that they want at the price that they want. And start to, if we can, erode the duopoly that exists of, the only place that companies can go to acquire customers is Facebook and Google, and we want to give people a third option. And that's really what we're trying to introduce with that's what we're introducing with our technology and hope to be speaking about to drive forward.
Absolutely. So this is a very complex ecosystem, obviously, and I'm sure that Thursday will be filled with all sorts of different insights from speakers and attendees. What do you want people to walk away knowing?
I think knowing what I think that I want them to walk away knowing what their plan is for the next 12 months of how they're going to do mobile commerce and how they're going to reach their customers in the best format possible and give their customers the best experience on a mobile phone that they possibly can. Hopefully that answer is going through Button, but beyond that, it's also to say we're going to have lots of luminaries in the field that are saying this is how we serve our customers best, and hopefully this is how we get them what they want in an easier experience, and I hope that's what comes through.
So we talked about the journey that you've had over the past 5 years and more, and we have a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs who follow us at Nasdaq. What advice do you have for them?
I think for that, for us, when we set up I think it's important to pursue a problem that's really important to you. The process of building a company demands a lot, and if you don't feel fulfilled with whatever that challenge or pursuit is on a daily basis, I think it's going to be challenging to be successful. I think one of the things that we've had success too with as we built up the company is we wanted to be a very value-driven organization, and so when we before we really had more employees outside of the founding group, we articulated some values of what we wanted the company to be and how we wanted to build around that and to serve as our guidepost. And so some of those were, we wanted growth to be a really important, personal and professional growth to be a really important tenet of the business that we built. And for individuals to sort of consistently feel challenged and have those opportunities as they grew through the organization. And so that was something where we spent, I think, a lot of money, or maybe disproportionate amount for our size, on learning and development and giving people the opportunities. We have a career coach on retainer who does regular sessions with people about communication styles and how do you manage, and really trying to invest in that, because we knew that if we invested in our people, they would grow, they would be fulfilled, and if they felt fulfilled with who they were becoming and what they were doing, they would be less likely to look somewhere else, to go somewhere else. And so, one of the benefits of that is we've won numerous awards for being the best places to work. We've had in New York as a small business in the United States. You also had like significantly longer retention relative to the industry of employees, and I think that that's helped build continuity and facilitated growth faster. And so, I mean, I think we knew that another one was that family was P0, and so a real mission of ours was parental. So that family is P0, and for engineering speak, that's sort of top priority. And so we've tried to be very progressive, at least in the United States market, of parental leave. And so we have 18 months leave for all parents, mothers, fathers, really however you come into a child. I say like sort of your Moses moment. If it's by natural birth, adoption, surrogacy, like if a child's in your life, they're now going to be, there's that leave, because like it's such a transformative moment in people's lives. I think it behooves a company to like stand by their employees and give them the time that they need as a family to sort of come together and make that and to adapt to that change. And so we've been really supportive about that, and I think that's a value that really resonates with our employees and as we're trying to bring in new people to be a part of the organization, because it's clear to them who we are who we are as people and who they're working with, and I think that translates to something that's really powerful for us.
Absolutely. So for aspiring entrepreneurs to know really the values of your organization,
of yourself, of yourself, and help your organization to be a manifestation of that.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming in to chat today, and congratulations and good luck on Thursday. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
So thanks, NASDAQ followers, for watching this episode of NASDAQ Spotlight. You can find more episodes at facebook.com/NASDAQ.